A very good evening to you wherever you are watching us from. This is an English edition of Dalsan TV, Somalia's #1 TV station, and we have a lot lined up for you. My name is Abdrazak Ali, but first let's have a look at some of our top stories. Multiple rounds of mortar shells strike Mogadishu districts, casualties unknown. Somaliland House of Representatives approves election laws. President Mohamud meets Southwest State opposition in Galmudug, and security forces nab senior Al-Shabaab operative in southern Somalia. Welcome back. Now, Somali security forces have apprehended senior Al-Shabaab operative following security operation in villages near Luq district in Gedo region. According to a statement, the security forces said the operative, who was identified as Mohammed Ali Osman, was Al-Shabaab official working at the group's finance department. The Somali security forces have arrested a senior Al-Shabaab operative following security operation in villages near Luq district in Gedo region. According to a statement, the security forces said the operative, who was identified as Mohammed Ali Osman, was Al-Shabaab official working at the group's finance department. The security forces also seized motorcycle. The Somali government has intensified operations to hunt down Al-Shabaab senior officials. The arrest of Osman comes barely 2 days after the Somali National Intelligence and Security Agency (NISA) apprehended a senior Al-Shabaab operative responsible for procuring weaponry and explosives from foreign sources to Al-Shabaab. The spy agency said Zakaria Kamal, better known as Zaki, is responsible for procuring weaponry. Al-Shabaab is responsible for numerous attacks that have caused loss in Kenya, Somalia, and neighboring countries, including the deaths of US citizens. Somalia has been plagued by insecurity for years, with Al-Shabaab being one of the main threats in the Horn of Africa. Since 2007, Al-Shabaab has waged a deadly campaign against the Somali government and international forces that claim thousands of lives. Now, in a distressing story, a round of mortar shells rained down on the districts of Kahda, Wadajir, and Kenley in Mogadishu, causing panic and concern among residents on Sunday morning. A series of mortar shells rained down on the districts of Kahda, Wadajir, and Kenley in Mogadishu, causing panic and concern among residents on Sunday morning. While the exact number of casualties remain unknown, local residents have reported the incident, expressing their fear and distress. Eyewitnesses stated that some of the mortar shells hit Tarabush, a slum village located in the Wadajir district, which has been significantly affected by the attack. However, authorities have not yet provided any official comment regarding the casualties resulting from the mortar assault. No group has yet claimed responsibility for the attack this time. It is worth noting that Al-Shabaab, an Al-Qaeda affiliated militant group, has typically claimed responsibility for similar attacks in Mogadishu in the past. Al-Shabaab has been known to carry out such attacks as part of its ongoing campaign to destabilize the region and exert control of areas in Somalia. The attack comes just days after suicide bomber targeted a crowded restaurant, resulting in the loss of 5 lives and leaving several others injured. The frequency and scale of these attacks indicate an escalation in the activities of Al-Shabaab, particularly since the Somali president, who secured a second term in office last year, declared an all-out war against the militant group. The Somali government has been grappling with the persistent threat posed by Al-Shabaab for years. Despite efforts to enhance security and counterinsurgency operations, the group managed to carry out deadly attacks targeting civilian areas and security forces alike. As investigations into the mortar attack continue, security forces remain on high alert, intensifying their operations to identify and apprehend those responsible. The Somaliland House of Representatives convened on Saturday in Hargeisa, that is the capital of the breakaway region, to unanimously approve the election laws, effectively bringing an end to protracted electoral dispute.
The Somaliland House of Representatives convened on Saturday in Hargeisa to unanimously approve the election laws, effectively bringing an end to a protracted electoral dispute. Lawmaker Abdinasir Qodah, a member of the parliamentary committee responsible for amending the existing electoral law, confirmed that specific provisions had been modified prior to receiving full approval from the lawmakers. The comprehensive amendments to the general election law and national voters registration were a significant step forward. Initially composed of 154 articles, the revised laws now encompass an additional 13 new articles, according to MP Qodah. The Parliament also made amendments to 35 other law articles, aimed at granting the election committee greater independence and authority in conducting elections. One breakthrough in the electoral impasse was the agreement reached between the government and opposition leaders to hold the presidential and political organization elections concurrently on November 13, 2024. This consensus was brokered by a committee of traditional elders, effectively resolving the long-standing disagreement over the sequencing of these elections. President Bihi had advocated for the election of political organizations to precede the presidential election, while the opposition had expressed reluctance. However, with the intervention of the Traditional Elders Committee, both sides reached a compromise, paving the way for unified elections. The positive strides made in resolving the electoral dispute garnered international recognition, including an endorsement from the United States government. Just a week ago, U.S. Embassy Mogadishu Charge d'Affaires Shane Dixon visited Hargeisa, where he held discussions with key political figures. The United States commended the political agreement proposed by clan elders, and viewed it as a significant step toward achieving free and fair elections in Somaliland.
Meanwhile, the President of the Federal Government of Somalia, Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, convened a meeting on Saturday with the leaders of the Southwest Regional Opposition. This gathering comes in the wake of their recent call for timely regional elections.
President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud of Somalia convened a meeting on Saturday with leaders of the Southwest State Regional Opposition. This gathering comes in the wake of their recent call for timely regional elections. The discussions aim to address the current situation in Southwest State and explore strategies to regain control of vast territories held by the militant groups, with the ultimate objective of restoring the region to the hands of the Somali security forces. According to a statement released by Villa Somalia, the official residence of the president, the regional opposition leaders provided a comprehensive briefing on the prevailing conditions in the Southwest State. They also presented recommendations on how to counter the militant presence and reclaim the territory under their control. The meeting underscored the shared commitment to strengthen security and stability in the region, with the ultimate goal of creating an environment conducive to free and fair elections. One crucial point of discussion was the ongoing ban imposed by Southwest State leader Laftagaren, which prevent opposition leaders from traveling to Baidoa to participate in an upcoming presidential vote. Efforts were made during the meeting to address this issue and explore avenues to exert pressure on Laftagaren to lift the ban. The opposition leaders emphasized the importance of their participation in the electoral process as a means to ensure inclusivity, transparency, and democratic progress.
Now, that story of the president and the opposition of the Southwest State brings us to the end of this bulletin. My name is Abdulrazak Ali. We wish you a lovely evening.